Hi everyone. I want to talk to you today about my absolute favorite product of all time. It is called Diatomaceous Earth. A friend introduced me to this and I love it. I had the most horrible skin. I believe it's called acne vulgaris or something like that. Horrible skin from the time I was 10 years old all the way until probably I got this stuff, which is about 4 years ago. Oh my goodness, I empathize with you. Please, if your skin is totally going crazy and you have tried every single kind of cream, going to the drugstore, going to the dermatologist, getting expensive creams that actually ruin your inside and your liver. I was on so many creams and different pills to try to clear out my pimples. They were all over my chest and my back, huge pimples. I know this sounds gross, but I'm trying to explain to you what this is and what this product can do and why I really believe that you should get this, even a small bag of this, and try it. What those pimples actually are, and it's so gross, it's called a Demodex mite. I call them a Deodex mite, but that's probably incorrect. But go look it up, Demodex. And what that is they say that people around, as soon as about 80% of the population has these mites. Children up to about 10 don't have them, and they get an infestation of these mites. I believe it's something in our environment that is, these things are crawling on us. These little tiny mites live in yes, it sounds gross and it's true, they live in our pores. And at nighttime, they only come out at night. They go into our pores, and at nighttime they're so slow they come out. So when you feel your skin kind of itch, it's not a hair, it's one of these little mites moving around, irritating the pore and the hair. So they come out of the pore. I believe the females stay in, or is it, I can't remember which one. The females stay in, or they crawl out, or the males crawl into the hole, into the pore, and they breed in there. Sometimes two will get stuck in there and you'll have a huge pimple. This is what it is. Please listen to me. You can go to the dermatologist and they will take tweezers and pull these out, and they look like little grains of hard rice. What these mites, any kind of mites, like I put this stuff on the sofas, over the beds, I put them all around the ground. Of course, I vacuum it up a bit, but it kills dust mites, everything. Put it in the vacuum cleaner. You eat it, right? And you can also, when you get a huge zit, put a little bit over top of it and it will dry it out. And then once it dries it out, the mite is going to start to slowly come out of there. Then you just take some tweezers and pull the mite right out. It sounds so gross, but this is going to heal your skin. This is the answer. This isn't a treatment to cover it up. This is a cure. So I really, really want you to try this. So it also works on almost any kind of skin eruption. If you have itchy skin, it's these mites, or that Rosacea. That is what it is. It's these mites irritating your skin. So this gets rid of them. It's a removal. It is not a treatment, it is a cure. This is the first time in my life, after spending years of my life covering my arms. I didn't go to a swimming pool for 20 years just because I didn't want to show my skin. It was awful. And all I had to do was get stuff. Sometimes at night, what I do, you can't get this stuff in your eyes. Don't get it in your eyes because it's a drying agent. And the diamites do live in our eyelashes. They live in our hair, on our head, things like that. So at night when they come out to crawl around and mate, they go everywhere. What I usually do is I wash my face, and then I either put coconut oil on it, a whole bunch of coconut oil on it, and that clogs the pore. And it also loosens up the pore a bit. It suffocates these things, and they hate that, so they want to come out. Easier to get them out. So then you can wipe your face, And I take a little bit of this on my hand, not enough so that it makes a huge powder. And I just put it on my finger and put it around my nose or my nostrils, not in my nostrils, enough to go up in my nasal cavity, under my chin, where I had huge amounts of pimples under my chin, because these mites don't like light. So they want to go in your ear, they want to go in your nose, they want to hide in your eyelashes, at the corners of your mouth. If you have little bumps, that's what these are. They want to live and eat the oils on your face. It's really gross. You just put a little light bit of that. Don't dust it on, wipe it on a little bit. In the morning, you'll notice they're all kind of coming out, and you can take your extraction tool and just push them out, which is great. And always remember to put the coconut oil on your skin, because they hate that. Always do it at night. Don't go to bed with makeup on your face, because I believe that these mites are eating that and living. That's how they're growing, and they can stay in your skin for your whole life, just getting bigger and bigger and bigger. They start out so microscopic you can't even see them, and they grow so big. You can go look online and you'll see pimple extractions, and they'll pull out this huge thing that looks like a giant, I don't even know what to call that, a giant cucumber seed. Well, it's a mite. It's so gross. Go check it out. Food grade diatomaceous earth. This stuff, it kills any kind of bug, fruit flies. You just sprinkle it around, and it's not poisonous to us. You have to have food grade diatomaceous earth. It gets rid of bed bugs. There's so many health benefits to this stuff. It gets rid of ants. It's wonderful for weight loss. I take it in the morning in my apple juice. I also put it in my family's food, which includes the dogs and the stray cat and my human family. I put it in the dog's food. I just mix up a teeny little bit of it, half a teaspoon. I mix it in with their wet food. They eat that, and it goes through their system. It kills parasites and fleas, everything, but it doesn't harm the dog. And it does the same thing for us. One thing that usually people don't like to talk about are parasites. And it's like there's an invasion of parasites. Most humans have thousands of parasites inside of them. And if you have ever eaten sushi, you should go look up how many parasites are in a piece of sushi. So these parasites, they hook onto the inside of our stomachs, all the way through our intestine, all the way through. And it's really gross because they suck all of the nutrients out, and that's how people start being so ill and they eat so much and they look sickly. It's because these parasites are eating all the nutrients, literally sucking them dry, making holes in their stomach. Sometimes you see those really big stomach bloated people. It's not fat. It's parasites inside of them. It is so gross. You can go look up online for yourself parasites in humans' bodies, and you will just be amazed and shocked, and you will zip over to the link down there and you will buy this stuff. Lickety split. Send it in the mail. As soon as you see what's actually living in the human body. I couldn't believe it either. I feed this to my dogs. And one of my dogs, Goldie Girl, she is a little Shih Tzu, and she just wasn't gaining weight. So she eats everything. I've given them some diatomaceous earth for a little while, like about a couple of weeks, 2 weeks maybe. And one night she began vomiting and vomiting, and I was like, oh, that's horrible. And as I cleaned up her vomit, I saw what I thought was a little piece of paper. I thought, oh, that's why she was vomiting. So I picked it up. It wasn't paper. It was a worm, a long, thin worm. It's so gross. But what had happened is, what I believe has happened from what I've read, the diatomaceous earth cuts up the parasite. It cuts the parasite up. It chops them up. And then they die, and they get flushed out of the system, through the mouth or through the back end. And it's great. Those parasites are just gone. And they hate this stuff. They hate this stuff. So this is what happens for humans as well. So when you eat this stuff, it cleans all this out. That's how you also lose a lot of weight, because you're passing the parasites. And every human has parasites. Even no matter how clean you are, it's something in the environment, on our food. If you've ever been a meat eater, you have parasites because of the way the meat is brought to you. Everything. Go look it up on the internet. I'm not going to go into meat eater, not meat eater here. I want to tell you about the potato bugs in the garden. This stuff gets rid of any kind of bug. So I put it in the garden, around a lot of it, around the potato plants and underneath the leaves, around any plant really that you don't want any bugs on, and it kills them. But for the potato bugs, you have to get them when they're that little orange sac on the back of the leaf. Make sure you dust the leaf lots, because when they're little, they're still soft shell a bit, and it can get right through. But if you wait too long and the potato bug has got that hard shell on, it's very difficult for it to get through. And so it's eating the poor plant, so start early. But remember that this diatomaceous earth kills every kind of insect, right? Pretty much. So it will also kill the pollinators. So make sure you don't get it on any flowers, any place where you have butterflies and bees, because it will kill them. And it attaches to their fur, like their little, I don't know if it's called fur. Oh, ticks. This is wonderful for ticks. What I usually do is tick season over here. The dogs like to run outside and play, and I didn't really know anything about ticks. I was babysitting a dog, and one day he got up and he walked around, and this giant tick fell off of him. I couldn't figure out where it was, where it come from, because I brushed him and everything. Well, it turns out the ticks like to go where the soft spots are, where the dog can't get, which is right up under its tail, and it attaches there, and the dog can't get rid of it. What you do, I do this for the dogs, I usually take some diatomaceous earth, keep it away from their eyes, because you're not supposed to breathe it in, because it's very tiny shards, and I just rub it through their fur, make sure I get it in between their toes. For the cat, we have a stray cat that came and well, he's not stray, he's part of the family now, but he decided he was going to live here. So he lives outside. I put it in his food as well, because he's out there eating like mice and unfortunately birds, and it's really gross. Whatever they eat, he's got that, and so he has worms, he'll get them. So I put it in his food, which was fine, and he was doing excellent. And then one day I looked and I noticed that the flies, because he's an outside animal, the flies were trying to lay their eggs around his anus. And I remember years ago, I had met a woman who would actually spend her time, this is very gross, but she loved the cat, and she would pick the worms out of the cat's anus, which I love. I really like this cat. I probably love this cat, but I'm not doing that. I usually get him to go over to his food, and I take a little bit of diatomaceous earth, and when he puts up his tail, I just sprinkle a little bit under his tail. And what happens is when the flies come to lay their little maggots or whatever, it dries them out instantly, and they just die. And they don't go inside of him, because what they want is to lay on him, and then he licks himself, and then they go into his system, and then he has worms in his stomach, he passes them. And then of course the dogs go outside and they love him, so then the dogs want to kiss him and things like that, which passes the worms to my dogs, which I don't want. What is diatomaceous earth? What is it exactly? Food-grade diatomaceous earth is a fossilized sediment composed of single-cell algae. These microscopic algae plants are the most common form of phytoplankton called diatoms. When the diatoms are alive, they have a unique cell wall made of hydrated silicon dioxide, or more commonly known as silica. After nearly 250,000 years, these ancient freshwater lake beds have left behind the fossilized remains of these diatoms, creating a soft white powder we now call diatomaceous earth, or DE. If you're a vegetarian, you can still take this stuff. I still take it, and they gave their lives so I could have beautiful skin. They died off naturally. I want to tell you about this because I understand the pain that you're going through when you have to cover your face in makeup, or you want to go someplace and your whole chin is erupted. This is the product for you. Please take a moment, go to the website, and just read the benefits. Then after that, if you still are unsure, go to the forums and read about this product. So this Diatomaceous earth, this company only ships within Canada. So if you're in Canada, please go and click the link down below and go check out the website. If you're not in Canada, I will try to also put another link down at the bottom for my international friends. That's about it, everybody. I really hope that you try this product. Why I'm so adamant about it, years of suffering, then the answer is so simple. You don't have to go to the dermatologist anymore. You don't have to spend hours in front of the mirror trying to hide your pimples. You don't have to pick your skin until you destroy your beautiful pelt, your beautiful skin. Yeah, give it a try, guys. All right, have a really nice day and be well. And oh, after you've tried it, please go into the comments and tell me about it. That would be awesome. And if you want, you can send me before and after pictures to my email address. I will post them on my blog. All right, have a nice day, guys. Be well.